This customer does hot yoga at home, so she wants to turn this room into a hot yoga studio. So we're gonna be installing these 2 heaters on the wall up high, facing down, with the thermostat on the wall controlling the 2 heaters. I measured where my heater brackets are gonna mount to the wall, and I used my laser so that I could get them perfectly level. I mounted my brackets for the heaters, and I drilled holes where my wires are gonna come in. I ran my armored cable from the garage into the room, connected it to the J-box. Now I'm gonna put the cover back on. Before putting the heater up, you wanna put these aesthetic side panels on. Then I'm gonna try to push this slack into the garage while I put the heater up. Just like that. It has these additional lock screws to hold it into the bracket arms. I ran the armored cable from the heaters in the garage down to my junction box where my 240 relay is. Then I installed my junction box where my transformer is gonna go to power my thermostat. I sent my low voltage wire in through a hole I drilled behind the water heater and came out into the room and mounted the bracket for the thermostat. I need to get a 240 volt circuit here, so I'm gonna run my armored cable in the garage down to the other side of the wall where the panel is. I drilled a hole in and I snaked down, and now I'm pulling my wire to the panel. It was too tricky to come in the top of the panel, so I'm gonna come down. I drilled through that stud and I'm gonna come back up into the panel from the bottom. I taped it to my pull wire and I'm gonna pull it into the panel. I strapped my armored cable in the garage down to my junction box for my relay. So now I have power for my transformer. So when you turn on the thermostat, it's gonna turn on the relay, which is gonna turn on my 2 heaters. I reinstalled the covers and I snapped the thermostat cover on. I installed the armored cable connector, installed the 20 amp breaker on. I reinstalled all the panel covers and I labeled my breaker. The homeowner says she likes to set this to 105 when she's doing yoga. And that's your end result.